So what's up? What's going on? So what I think about Cedric cornbread Maxwell saying that Hakeem Olajuwon was better than Michael Jordan in his personal opinion. He said he controlled both sides of the court. You know, when we have these debates about players, that's why you can't say someone was better than somebody because there's different levels to it. There's different positions. There's different connotations. You know, you're subjective to your opinion. You know, um, For me, it centers, it's Shaq, Wilt, Kareem, and Russell's the four greatest centers. But Olajuwon is like him and Moses are my next, and then Jokic. But Olajuwon's footwork was amazing. His athleticism was amazing. Um, had he got a chance to have certain opportunities in his career, who knows? Because he didn't. He did win the two chips. He went to three finals, but there was lostness in between. And I always come back to what Wilt Chamberlain said about who's running the asylum, about how dominant he was. Great athlete, though. And Olajuwon, for my money, is one of the 15 greatest players ever. He was something else. But did he dominate? Did he, it just depends what your criteria is. As for him as in Jordan goes, you can make that case. I mean, he was basically a center version of Jordan. You couldn't stop the dream shake. You couldn't stop his quickness, his agility. You could make a case. Depends on where you come down with it. He was athletic as. I don't know if he was mentally as tough as Jordan, though. But as a physical specimen, yeah, you can make a case. Athleticism, quickness, the dream shake, his ability on defense. He had a good outside shot, a good fadeaway. Would have been interesting had he had a coach like a Phil Jackson with a triangle or a Pat Riley. Would have been interesting because Rudy T was more about that long ball, and I don't know if that, they got 2 rings out of it. It would have been interesting how he would have looked with certain type of centers, certain players. But Cornbread Maxwell, who sometimes I listen to some of his takes, he doesn't give Larry Bird a lot of love. So I never know where he's coming from. But Olajuwon, and not everybody thinks Jordan was the greatest. I don't think he was the greatest. He's in the argument. He has his merits. But you can take a few players and make a case for, even in his era, you can make a case for. And Olajuwon is one of those guys that you can make a case for. Because if we're going by the player and put him in the right position, you can make a case for him. Olajuwon was pretty special. And this is the thing. People go by position. Well, they don't go by position when they call someone the greatest. So what's your criteria? Well, no. I don't have no problem with Cedric Cornbread Maxwell saying it. Because if that's how he feels and what he saw, there is no definitive number one. I think that is a bit overrated. Because why do they have to do that with basketball? You can't do that with no other sport definitively. You really can't. So you can call someone one of the greatest. That's a great compliment. To say that you are, though, and you using rings or you using popularity, what is your criteria? So anyway, Cedric Cornbread Maxwell says that Hakeem Olajuwon is a greater basketball player than Michael Jordan. And you can make a debate. Because Olajuwon was successful, great talent, had a great career. And if you're going by his, he covered both sides of the rock. And you can make a case for a lot of people that are within that certain hierarchy of greatness. You won't be wrong. It all depends on how you feel. So please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out. Peace.